What is going on, guys? It is Trifecta J here with the Season 3 preview for the Mount Pleasant Dynasty, as this is going to be an exciting year for the series. I'm very much looking forward to it. We're going to start off with the Redshirts. The junior college transfer John Moore will be redshirt along with Chad Montgomery. Both guys weren't really going to play. However, true freshman Mike Pierre, who was an athlete coming in, will be starting the season. No one along the offensive line will be redshirting. Then we get defensive line Jermaine Payne, who definitely needs time to develop, will be getting that red shirt. At defensive tackle, both Kevin Pollock and Cedric Robinson will be being redshirted. So only 3 active defensive tackles. However, I feel all 3 of our, or I'll guess the 2 left ends can fill in there. At free safety, no one, and then both strong safeties who came in, Titus Sisk and Miles Power III, both get redshirted. The depth chart, Colby Lucas will be backing up Jonathan Gibbs. To start the year, it's going to be Danny Whitmore, Zachary Randolph, and Mike Meadows are going to be the top 3 at running back. At receiver, it's going to be Latrell Williams, the transfer, Allen Harrison, and then Mike Pierre in the slot, with Kenton Watkins getting a lot of playing time as the 4th receiver. To start the year, it's actually going to be Evan Quinn starting at left guard, Cameron Campbell at center, Kerry Rodriguez at right guard, and then right tackle is Maurice Gates, the junior. Along the defensive line, it's William Sherman, the true freshman, Xavier Burns, and then Mario Harper, Tommy Rogers, and Gerald Archie. The linebacking core looks similar except for Eric Moore, the redshirt freshman, will be getting the day 1 start. Lionel Fox is the number 1 corner, bat with Markel Reyes, the number 2, and the nickel is now Leroy Red. Our schedule now, we're going to open with Akron, then play at UTSA, then we'll be traveling to the defending national champion Middle Tennessee State. We get into conference play and then end off the year at home against UMass. Looking at the formation subs, for the most part, the big ones, the playbook isn't really set yet, so these aren't perfect, but the big ones that you need to notice are Gerard Buchanan is going to be split out wide a lot as the tight end. Anything in line will be Dorian Mays. Along the defense, Gerald Archie will be the nose tackle in certain sets. We're going to be playing a different scheme this year, more of a 3-4-4-3 hybrid with a lot of standing up pass rushers and just a way to really utilize Blake Cotton. He's a guy who's been not had a big impact so far, so we're going to definitely try and get him a big senior year. In the 2-4-5, Nathan Johnson will be playing along Terrell Byers with Eric Moore at the other outside linebacker spot. So going into year 3, we're definitely going to have to win more games. We're on the hot seat right now. We barely kept our job after season 2. We're definitely going to have to start putting up some wins so we don't get fired. The preseason poll, Clemson, Florida State, Notre Dame, LSU, and UCLA are your top 5. Middle Tennessee, the defending national champion who returns a lot of their team, is going to be number 18. Now at the very bottom, at 122nd in the country, is Mount Pleasant. I feel like that's a little bit of an underrater of our team. And the Sun Belt, we're predicted to finish in 6th place. I feel like we can also finish higher than that. Arkansas State and Troy are definitely the top 2 teams in the conference right now, with South Alabama and New Mexico State at the bottom. All NCAA first team will be looking down the list. No one on offense, get to the defensive side of the ball, and no one there. But on the second team, Brent Stockstill, their running back, are on there, so future opponents there. And then we look towards the bottom, and we will have Ernest Harrison, 2nd team All-American, to open the year. Now we get to all Sunbelt first team, no one on the offense. Once again, Xavier Burns is one of the defensive ends, Markel Reyes, and you also have Ernest Harrison. So that's nice to see a couple of our defensive players. On 2nd team, though, we do have Allen Harrison, who will be returning for his final season in the red and black. Along the defensive side, Leroy Red, who is now moved to nickel corner, and Kavika Watts are your 2nd teamers. Now we get into the very early recruiting board. This is not final by any means. We look at the team needs, though. 19 seniors are graduating, and that doesn't consider anyone who may be transferring. 2 at quarterback, a few on the offensive line. Tight end, both backups will be graduating. Dorian Mays will return. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we lose 4 linebackers, so that's going to be a big loss. 3 corners, we lose Kavika Watts, and then a defensive tackle as well. So a bunch of starters and a bunch of players in general will be leaving. Along the pipeline states, we have Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida. With North Carolina, I'm hoping to get them as a pipeline state at the end of season 3. We can see the early map. We have a few in North Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, none from there actually, Alabama, Louisiana, Florida, and then one all the way up in Connecticut. On the top of the board, this top 10 list isn't necessarily in order. It is Dontrell Johnson, only 5'11" as a quarterback, but he is a game breaker as a runner. Not the strongest arm, not the most accurate, would definitely have to develop that way, but could be an impact player as a running quarterback to start his career. Then you have Tyus Bolt, another smaller guy, only 5'8", 185, but he is from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Got one of the coolest names, I have to say, and he is a speed threat. He can make you miss in the open field, but is raw as a receiver right now. Devontae Hilliard, the highest rated player on the board as a 4-star prospect, the number 12 outside linebacker at 6'2", 232. He's got good speed and could be a hybrid pass rusher, hybrid defensive end type of deal. Michael Thompson, maybe my favorite player on the board. He's 5'11", 195 out of North Carolina, and he is very good. He's a balanced runner. He has nice power and make you miss ability with great speed, and is definitely one of the highest players on our board. 6'3", another guy from South Carolina is Marcus Reese. So 4 of the top players so far have been from the state of South Carolina. He really values playing time, which he will get with, I believe, around 5 or 6 linebackers leaving. Len Fine, only 6 foot at tight end, but he is a great athlete as a tight end. He's definitely a receiver and would need to develop as a pass or as a blocker, but has great receiving ability and could be a guy who does not get redshirted and plays right away. Kenny Hamilton, only 6'1", 218 out of Florida, but he has very nice athleticism. Definitely would have to develop as a overall linebacker, but has some nice traits to begin with. Adam Wilson, 6'1", 237, so another smaller tight end. He's a good athlete, more of a receiving guy, but can block a little bit, and he's definitely a powerful runner after the catch. 5'11", 180 from North Carolina, it's Travis Johnson, a cornerback. He's not the biggest guy at only 5'11", but has decent enough speed, good coverage ratings, and could develop into a very nice player for us. Scott Moss, another guy out of North Carolina, definitely a high priority for us. He's a good enough athlete, pretty strong, and a very good run blocker, but his pass blocking would definitely need to develop. Now into some practice footage, and so we'll just break down the team so far going into year 3. At quarterback, of course, it is Jonathan Gibbs who will be the starter. Colby Lucas will be backing him up with redshirt freshman Jerome Hill maybe seeing a little bit of playing time. He's a good runner at the quarterback position. A big concern on the offense is going to be our running game. Danny Whitmore has gotten a few carries so far in the first 2 years of the series, but he will be the starter. Right now, he's going to be backed up by Zachary Randolph. He's a redshirt junior. Mike Meadows will be the third back. And then you also have Steve Lewis, the fullback, who should see some work as well. I would say the strength of our offense is our receiving core. You have Allen Harrison returning for his senior year. Latrell Williams, the redshirt sophomore, he's definitely the guy I'm maybe most excited about to get on this field. He has game-breaking speed, great ability as a vertical threat, something we have not had. Really the closest thing we've had to that is Allen Harrison, and he does not have anything close to Latrell Williams' speed. In the slot, it's Mike Pierre. He's not the fastest guy, but is very elusive after the catch and should be a very nice guy, along with Kenton Watkins, who will be the number 4 receiver, but definitely will get some work in the slot. He's definitely the most sure-handed receiver we have on the team. Dorian Mays and Gerard Buchanan will be the tight ends. I feel very comfortable about them. On the offensive line, I believe it's about the same starters. Only difference is Evan Quinn will be starting at left guard. He was the center last year, and Cameron Campbell, the transfer from South Florida, will be the new center. We'll move to the defensive side of the ball. The defensive line definitely sees a little bit of a shakeup. We saw John Paul Cutler graduate in the offseason, so Xavier Burns will move over to that right end spot. William Sherman, the true freshman, will be starting at left end, and then it's going to be 2 former junior college guys and Tommy Rogers and Mario Harper at defensive tackle. But the nose tackle on the team will be Gerald Archie, the senior defensive tackle. He's the biggest out of them and along with the strongest. So in formations where we need is a nose tackle, he will be the guy that you will see out there. Now we get to the linebacking core. Maybe the strength of the defense along with cornerback, but at linebacker you return Blake Cotton. You have Terrell Byers, both of which will be gone after this year. And then on the right outside, it's a battle between Nathan Johnson, who started last year, and redshirt freshman Eric Moore. Moore's maybe the most athletic linebacker we have on the team and could be a very good player. And right now he will be getting the start with Johnson seeing some work in 4 linebacker sets. As one thing I forgot to mention, their defense is going to change up a little bit. I think I did actually mention this, but it's going to be a 4-3-3-4 hybrid. Different looks to just mix it up and really get Blake Cotton to really utilize his pass rushing ability and hopefully get him to have a big senior year along with Terrell Byers. Moving into the secondary now, one of the strengths is definitely the cornerback spot, as last year was Leroy Red and Markel Reyes starting at defensive back with I believe Lamont Dowdle in the nickel spot. But this year you'll see Lionel Fox now as the number 2 corner, which I feel is an upgrade over Markel Reyes, and then a big time upgrade in the nickel spot with Leroy Red moving there instead of Lamont Dowdle. And then the dime corner with Dowdle, who has playing experience, should be very effective as well. At safety, you return both Kavika Watts and Ernest Harrison. Do lose Khalif Keenan, so you'll definitely see a lot less 3 safety looks, much more of the nickel and dime with all corners on the field. So that's pretty much it for this team. Nate Perry and Jonathan Ratliff return as the special teamers, with I believe Latrell Williams will be starting off as your kick and punt returner. But I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, please leave a like down below. Leave your comments on the upcoming season. What's your record prediction for this team? Which players are you most excited to see get on the field? And I'm very excited to just see this team play. I feel like we'll see big improvement in Season 3 compared to Season 1 and 2. Subscribe for more of the Mount Pleasant Dynasty. I'm definitely going to try to be a whole lot more consistent with Season 3. I definitely got this setup down a whole lot better than I did with Season 2. So I'm definitely looking forward to really getting this season underway. I hope y'all are too. I will see you for Week 1 in a few days, 'cause I'm out.